What's up? Graduating 578 here, and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 3. Alright, so first of all, before we go ahead and get started, I want to go ahead and say something. I am sorry for a few things. Number one, I want to go ahead and apologize and wish the best of luck for the employees at Creative Assembly who got laid off recently. Now, I don't know when this video is going to be out. I'm recording the day of the announcement, but I figured I'd go ahead and just, just give my, I guess, thoughts and prayers or something to the people who are affected by it. So Hyena got canceled, which, I mean, good on CA, because that's like waiting for a fuse to go off. It was gonna blow up and it was not gonna be good. But unfortunately, really, in that case, nobody really won because okay, even though it was widely hated, there were some people who were actually kind of looking forward to that game, and now they'll never get to play it. Number two, well, that's another game gone, so we never know if it could have been good or not. And number three, the people that worked on it for years, it's just got thrown in the trash, Like, imagine baking a cake, and it took like a couple hours for some reason, and when you get the cake out, somebody just throws it in the trash. That sucks. But then you're kicked out of your own house, so now you got to find somewhere else to live. That's exactly what's going to happen, or what's been happening to some of the CA employees. So, oh man, what the hell is going on over there at Creative Assembly, man? What the hell is going on? Anyways, so shout out to the people who got laid off. Hopefully you guys will, hopefully this will open up a chapter in a new book. Number two, I want to apologize because I do not have my timer on again, and I just recorded an episode, and you think I'd learned from the first time, but I didn't. There we go, now I got my timer on. And number three, I want to go ahead and apologize to my boy, Azazel, because last episode I was calling him Azazel. And Azazel sounds stupid. Azazel sounds way cooler. It sounds like an actual, like an angel or something, even though he's, a demon. But anyways, so, yeah, I want to go ahead and make that clear. Apologize. But I want to go ahead and say that I found out, and I think I'm going to change something up a bit. So last episode I said after Azazel, then we're done, we're going to go ahead and find another race to play. But then I remember there's another character who pretty much has a good amount of Slaaneshi influence. And that, of course, is Marathi. Hello, baby. Hello there. Alright. No, I'm just, yes, she does have, like, Slaaneshi influence, stuff like that. And, I mean, you can kind of see why. But we're actually not going to play as her. We're going to actually save her up for when we play the Dark Elves and stuff. But actually, on the serious note, I've given Prick Sigvold a shot. Like, I've never played him before, but I played him earlier today. And we are definitely going to be exploring him, but we're talking about Slaanesh cult here. I don't want to exploit any dude. Sorry, don't swing that way. But anyways, so yeah, it was, I played him for the first time today. Holy shit, is he my favorite Slaanesh unit, because he doesn't play like, as Azazel, I almost said it again, and Nikari. He's like an upfront, in your face, lord. Though he is part of the Chaos Undivided faction, but he mainly, dedicate his, worthiness to Slaanesh and all that stuff. So I'm considering him a Slaanesh, unit, and we are going to play as him if we get the Warriors of Chaos, or actually no, we're going to play as him right after Azazel, and after that, then we're seriously are going to switch it up and play as another character. But until then, I'm going to keep playing him some more, and just enjoy him before the next episode, and just we're gonna show him off, stuff like that. But I had a pretty good start with him, and yeah, it might not be long until you guys get another episode of this. Well, maybe depends where we are, because we're in the middle of the month of horror October. So, but anyways, without further ado, sorry, that was a long. I usually do long intros, y'all. I'm sorry, man. I have a lot to talk about, but today we're playing Azazel, the part of the Ecstatic Legion and the champion of Slaanesh. Now, I love Azazel lore, and I feel really bad for him because, there are villains out there who are just bad, just douchebags, and then there are tragic villains out there, like for example, like in Spec Ops: The Line. Sorry if you guys haven't played the game, you probably shouldn't listen to this. Play Spec Ops: The Line, it is so good. But to spoil the ending, we find out that Walker, you're playing as the villain the entire game. Though Walker is more of a tragic villain. I mean, he just couldn't accept the fact that he bombed civilians without knowing, and he couldn't bear the guilt and stuff like that. Kind of like a certain other character in a game that we're going to be playing when it finally comes out, that's finally getting a remake, and I cannot wait. But I will not spoil anything until then. But anyways, but yeah, so from what I know from Azazel is that he had a twin brother. This is back when he was human, and they were homies with Sigmar, the Empire god, and when I guess Sigmar was banging some chick, I guess their sister or something like that, Sigmar sent him, Azazel, and his brother out to go, hold off some bad dudes, something like that, while he smashed his sister. And before you know it, Azazel's brother got murdered, and he blames it on Sigmar. So he spends years serving under Sigmar, getting his trust until he became his right-hand man, and then he stabbed Sigmar, and his body was floating in the river. And then instead of finishing the job, he thought he killed him. So then he was exiled and found a Slaanesh cult, and eventually Slaanesh already knew he was coming towards him, and he became a demon prince. So that's pretty much the lore, but we're actually going to look into the lore and stuff like that anyways, so let's go ahead and do it. Azazel. Exactly when Azazel abandoned humanity and pledged his mortal soul to Slaanesh, none can say, but in the distant past he was the chief of a Garyon tribe, one of the 12 great peoples of Sigmar. After betraying his League Lord, he fled to the northern waste, where he rose quickly to the pleasure god's favor for his treachery and acts of debauchery. After smashing a 10,000 strong host of Khorne and slaying its mighty champion in equal combat, Azazel attracted his master's gaze once more and was elevated to a state of demonhood. Under his command, the Dark Prince's army have enjoyed one blissful triumph after another. And he's going to be starting up here near Norska and where Keith live is and all that stuff. And for his starting army, we got Chosen of Slaanesh, which is a tier 3, one of the best armies you can get. He has Chaos Warriors of Slaanesh, tier 2, right under the Chosen Slaanesh, but these guys are also very good. And then you got the Billy Basic Marauder Slaanesh, and they're alright. And then we get a Manticore and stuff like that. Now with his faction effect, remember each lord comes with their own faction. He get diplomatic relationship plus 80 with Empire, Kislev, Cathay, and Bretonia. Why? Because he is a Slaaneshian, dude. And so it is very important to do diplomacy when you're a Slaaneshi guy, because we'll explain it as we go on. Vassals gain immune to psychology and spread Slaanesh corruption. So basically, once we create vassals, they'll become immune to psychology, and then wherever they go, they'll start spreading Slaanesh's corruption. It can seduce units. So if you guys remember when we played Nakari, we can basically buy units and have them fight for us when we're on the battlefield. Applies and benefits from seductive influence and gifts of Slaanesh. And then for the Lord effect himself, he has a passive ability, Domineer Aura. melee defense 0, melee attack 0, effect intensity increased by each enemy unit in range with leadership wavering or lower. Then she can seduce units, is negative 20% for Empire, Bretonnia, Kislev, and Cathay units. And then seduce unit budget is plus 25%. So, whew, a lot of stuff. Azazel brings his sweet seduction to Norska, where the impressible Northmen gather around the Temple of Korak, ripe for his enticements. So, alright.
The damned prince stalks these realms once more.
Alrighty. So here we go. So because we are the warriors of chaos and not the demon of Slaanesh, we are actually playing differently. So we are a demon and you know, we do worship Slaanesh, but we play differently from Nakari. As you guys remember, Nakari, you had devotees, and just a bunch of different stuff. Where when it comes to Azazel, he actually collects souls for mortal faction throughout your campaign for sacrifice to the dark gods. Erect dark fortresses across the north and vassalize local tribes as you conquer the Norscan homeland. Instantly muster warband units to your armies from your lord localities to quickly build your military might and upgrade units to more powerful stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and explain all the stuff first. Whew, here we go. Alright, so warbands. This is a different way of recruiting. Usually when we recruit and stuff like that, we will have to have a you know, settlement or something like that, and then recruit units from there. But Warriors of Chaos actually kind of like find Norscan tribes, you know, like Norskans as the Vikings and stuff like that, which they all worship as undivided, meaning that they worship all the Chaos gods. And Warband recruitment, it'll actually allow us to have a percentage to recruit and to attract and recruit units. So Chaos, Warhounds, and Marauders. So let's go ahead and do that. And now usually when we're recruiting people, usually in most armies we'll have to wait a certain amount of turns to recruit them, but the Warriors of Chaos, they can automatically recruit them into their units.
Join the ecstatic legions.
Alright, now here's another thing that we can do. So as you guys can see, we have our, you know, Warriors of Slaanesh, stuff like that. And then we have just Marauders. See the different Marauders of Slaanesh and Marauders. Well, here's where the fun begins. So we got Warband upgrades. Now here we have, this is the sign of the Chaos Undivided, and this is the sign of Slaanesh. Chaos Undivided, this is where you can select a unit. So we'll select the Marauders, and we can change what kind of class they are. So instead of being regular Marauders with shields and stuff like that, we can make them Marauders with great weapons, where they drop the shield, but they'll have extra weapon strength, charge bonus, and armor piercing, which armor piercing in the late game is kind of a must. And then eventually, once they level up enough, you know, through battles and stuff like that, we can upgrade them to Chaos Warriors, great weapons, all that stuff, or Forsaken. Now, if we were Chaos Undivided, or I believe Demons or something, then we'll be able to choose all the other Chaos gods. But because we're going through Slaanesh and we are a Slaaneshan unit, we can only do Slaanesh. And obviously with Slaanesh, they're all about speed and flanking. Now, we can, you know how we can, you know, change them to being, you know, Marauders, great weapons and stuff like that? Well, we can change them into Marauders of Slaaneshing, which makes them have higher speed, of course, because that's what Slaanesh is all about. But here we can turn them into a Slaanesh version of that warrior. So instead of just being a regular boring ass Marauder, it'll be a Marauder of Slaanesh. Or if we had Nurgle, it would be Marauder of Nurgle, etc., etc. But because we already have so many dudes with shields, we are going to actually make them great weapon, just so we have a little bit more attacks on the front line and stuff like that. And that is going to be pretty much all that we're going to do. And that's pretty much the warband system in a nutshell. Now, When it comes to let's see. So when it comes to the Warriors of Chaos, we have a completely different type of technology tree. So normally technology tree will have a couple lines of, you know, skills and stuff like that, and we'll always go for the blue skills first, then, you know, skills that buffs your character, and then skills that buff, you know, your units and stuff like that. But here, the way that it works is that you will choose whatever you want to research, and then after you know, take a couple turns to research it, then you see these little lines here, it will start it will bring you into another thing. So have you ever done a choose your own adventure book and you have to make a choice? Well, then when you make that choice, you got to flip to page 49, and then you read that page and you have to make another choice. Okay, it's time to go back to page 46 or something like that, you know. It's kind of like that, except it's in lines and stuff like that. So my personal opinion of how you should go do this is definitely get this first, so your Marauder units can start getting more experience as, you know, you go into battle, because you're going to be battling a lot. It is Warhammer after all. If you're not battling, then you're doing something very interesting, and I hope you make a video of it someday, because I would love to see it. All right, so we got that, and for right now, we're going to go ahead and get our hero into here. And so he's going to join our army and stuff like that. And there's more to explain and stuff like that, but I'll go ahead and explain as we go. But for now, our first unit is Kislev. So first of all, we'll go ahead and attack them. And we're just going to get right into the battle. So I feel like the more, like, I'm sorry, I know that Nakari episode I was kind of like all over the place, and that's because I was kind of new to Slaanesh. Like, I still haven't really played that much Slaanesh, but I've been practicing a lot of Slaanesh units, you know, at Azazel, Sigvold, and I've been getting more used to them, honestly. Like, they're not as bad as I thought they were. Actually, they're quite good if you can use them, obviously. But I'm actually also trying to practice explaining them, you know, the systems and stuff like that, and what each lord does. When, you know, I'm also kind of like off air and practicing and stuff like that, just so I can be more prepared of how to explain stuff, and so we don't spend, you know, 20 minutes, you know, just trying to explain stuff before we go into our first battle, because that's what makes Total War, man, the battles, stuff like that. So even though we are approaching the 17-minute mark or something like that, it should be a lot faster the more I do it, and the better I get at explaining things. But as first, before we start, of course, let's take a look at our units, stuff like that. I always like to take a look at the units we got in the very first battle of the campaign. So we got a Manticore. Nice. Very good. It costs us terror, and it also goes on a rampage, meaning if it takes too much damage, it'll be out of our control, and it'll be doing whatever the hell it wants. Then we got our Chaos, our Chosen of Slaanesh. These are the best Chaos Warriors you can get, and they look really cool. I really love the horns. They really do remind me. I think they are supposed to be like Slaaneshi horns and stuff, so that's pretty cool. Then you got the Chaos Warriors of Slaanesh, and I do love the fur and stuff like that. They look pretty good. And again, I love the color. The color. What am I saying? I love the color purple, so I think that's why I really like Slaanesh. The Temptations is getting me, guys. He knows my favorite color. Alright, then we have the Marauders Slaanesh. These are basically like the baby versions of the Chaos Warriors of Slaanesh, or the Chaos Warriors in general. So, yeah, pretty cool. Very, you know, standard to Slaanesh. They don't have a lot of armor and stuff like that, because, you know, sex, and stuff. So, and then here's our Marauder great weapon. Even though they got purple shorts, they are still considered undivided, and they are going to be doing a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. A lot of damage. Damage so hard that even Flex Seal can't fix. Yeah. Saw your boat in half after my dudes take care of it, my boy. He'll probably find a way to, you know, do that, and he'll make money off of me now. Alright, anyways, Then we got the Hell Striders, the Sleness. This is our cavalry unit. These guys you can stick in the front line, and they'll be okay. Then you got the Chaos Warhounds or your War Bees. A lot of faction either have dogs or Chaos Warhounds or whatever. And usually the way you want to use them is you at least want to get 2 units of them. But because I can only recruit 1, we'll just, you know, have the 1. But usually how you want to use the Warhounds is to stick them on retreating units. That way that if you remember when a unit retreats and they only have the white flag, they'll just regroup and then come back into the battle. But if you hit them hard enough, they'll retreat and they'll have that white flag, and they'll also have a skull on them, means that they're completely shattered and they will not come back. That's what you want to try to get to when you use your Warhounds and stuff like that. So this is a very easy battle, by the way, as all first battles should be, but some of them aren't. And we'll get to them when we get to them. But for now, what I like to do here is I'll just go ahead and stick. Actually, hold up. Who's faster? So they have a speed of 33. They have a speed of 40. Let's go ahead and bring these guys back. And we'll go ahead and stick these guys here just because, I mean, they're less expensive, and they're basically the guys they're basically the meat shield. They're going to be taking all the bullets and arrows from these guys. We'll get our great weapons. Let's actually put the great weapons right behind them. There we go. So now, like, when they charge in and stuff like that, these guys will create some of the damage, and then these guys back here will go in for the support. Alright, so then we're gonna put all of our cavalry units and our Manticore and Azazel here. Not Azazel, Azazel. And we're also gonna put our hero over here just so they have more leadership and support. And then we're gonna also stick our Warhounds here, but we're not gonna use them just yet. And then I like to bring my Chosens of Sleness over here too, for certain reasons you guys will see. Alright, so what we'll do first is we'll go ahead and put our guys here, and we're going to put our Chosen Warriors of Sleness and put them right up here. Now for some reason these guys never really move, so just watch. Alright, then while that goes on, we're gonna go ahead and just have our units charge in. There we go. Alright, so we're gonna have them charge in, and then we're gonna actually have all these guys, you know, charge in at the same time. The idea though is that these three are so much faster because we got a cavalry and 2 flying units, and of course they're going to be so much faster. So if you attack this side first, then he's going to bring all his army over here, and my front line, my main distraction is just, you know, not going to be a distraction or anything like that. And something you don't want to do is, you can see Azazel's armor is only at 5. So he's pretty strong in combat, but if he gets focused down, he can go down quite easily, and it's not something you want to do. Alright, go ahead and wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait for them to get a little closer, then we're going to start charging over here. Okay, now go. So send this guy first. I'm gonna send Azazel up here. So what you really want to do with Azazel is you always want to attack from the rear or the flank, because he also causes more leadership damage, I believe, than when he attacks from the rear and the flank. So so we'll go ahead and do our first magic damage. Alright, and then we'll have him. So this is a very good thing about Azazel, is that you can easily get behind enemies and do that leadership damage and all that stuff. let's go ahead and get back because they are about to get attacked.
Exalted betrayer.
Gotta slow these guys down. Alright, go back in for the charge. Oh, nope, they're coming back. Alright, we're gonna have to meet them in combat. Alright. The unfortunate thing about Keyslip units is that most of them can be unbreakable, so they're gonna be fighting until the very death. Alright, let's go ahead and see what's going on over here. Alright, we need to go ahead and pull our boys over there. Get some magical damage going here. And, okay, we don't need every single one of them to fight them, so. There we go. We're going to pull some of the guys off and go after them.
Look how they dance. Azazel loves us.
Go in and attack from the back. And now we got the Manticore attacking from the front and Azazel taking from the rear. Okay, now we're going to launch our Chaos Warhounds on them. And then send the Manticore over here. So the Chaos Warhounds will start taking care of these guys and as they retreat. And we'll try to prevent them from wanting to come back. Alright, and Azazel should be helping them. Yep. There you go. See, they tried to come back, but I got the Warhound back on them. We're going to go ahead and put our cavalry unit on them as well. And then start bringing the party over. That should do some damage over time to them. And we got Azazel coming in from behind. Try to knock their leadership down just a bit. Like I said, I love Azazel's wings. It's so cool. Let's watch him battle for a bit. So he has some really cool animations and stuff like. Look, I love this one. That's pretty cool. That is some badass shit right there. That's why I like Azazel as a character, man. He's so cool. He just did it again with another guy. Alright, that guy is completely shattered and broken. Now, there we go. And that is the battle. So, decisive victory. There was no way we should have lost that one. Unless we're like that bad. And sometimes I am. But only lost 93 guys, so not bad at all. I can't believe it's almost been like half an hour or two since we started. So it feels like it's only been like 15 minutes or so. But yeah, so there's a couple ways that you can do this thing too. And one of the... Oh, by the way, what I mean by doing this is you can do this mission or do the do Azazel's campaign. And the first way that I've tried to do it, because there's a thing that I always go by, and it's if you have a chance to kill the legendary lord that spawns nearby you early in the game, then do it before they get strong. And you can do it and stuff like that, but I have found less luck in terms of, you know, the amount of gold I get, and just basically just throughout the campaign, you know, it's been a little bit tougher than the normal way that, you know, the game will usually lead you. But there's a couple ways you can tackle this campaign, and I'll show you the one way that I've actually found it easier and stuff like that. Whenever we start, there we go. We'll go ahead and replenish our units. And then we'll go ahead and fight here. And we're going to go ahead and auto-resolve this. Just because.
They will see beauty before death.
There we go. Alright. So now we are going to occupy and vassalize this place. There we go. And now we have given the gift of Slaanesh. So here's what I found out, okay? So the gift of Slaanesh is a very important mechanic that you want to do. And what it does is that when you fight an army or use your hero to interact with that said army, then you will give them the gift of Slaanesh. And what the gift of Slaanesh does is, we can read it here. Basically, it impacts your seduction and stuff like that to them. So if you guys remember when we were doing Nakari, I said that diplomacy is very important, and it is no different here. As you see, we once again have that seduction, influence, stuff like that, something that you want to build in order to eventually vassalize, and then you spend 2,000 soul and vassalize you know, people and stuff like that without even having to fight them, which is kind of why I think Slaanesh is probably one of, if not the strongest factions, because you can just vassalize like entire armies without even fighting them, which is quite insane. Of course, I'm not that good at doing it, and I think Nakari is actually a lot better at doing that anyways than Azazel. So anyways, so here's another reason thing you really want to do, and this is exclusive to the Warriors of Chaos: Dark Fortresses. Now, Dark Fortresses is basically your capital settlements that you want to go for. If you normally on a normal campaign, if you go for any settlements, they'll probably have like maybe like 4 boxes and stuff like that that you can, you know, use to build stuff in, and then, you know, then you'll have your capital, and then you can build all these stuff. Well, as far as I know, when it comes to the Dark Fortresses, they're very important for Warriors of Chaos to gain, stuff like that. And honest to God, I cannot remember why. Let's see. Let's go ahead and read up. So Warriors of Chaos construct Dark Fortresses, sprawling chaos settlements which they use as centers of powers to exert their ruinous influence. Some Dark Fortresses are also Norscan homeland capitals, allowing the vassalization of entire Norscan tribes when occupied. Dark Fortresses are special major settlements constructed in specific regions in Norsca, the Chaos Waste, and other key locations. As they erect Dark Fortresses across the Norscan homelands, our Warriors of Chaos can vassalize the local tribes through the conquest of their homeland capital, forcefully gaining their unwavering loyalty. So, okay, so from what I got from that is that if you're fighting a Norscan tribe, so say we're fighting these dudes here, and we go for the Dark Fortress, which is like right here, then we will vassalize like the Norscan tribe that, I guess, captured this automatically. The thing is, though, is that when I played this campaign earlier, so what I did was I went along the yeah, just to be easier to explain. So I went along the coast here, and when I captured this, I still had to fight these guys until, you know, eventually I, you know, beat them and vassalized them and stuff like that. And then I came around, and then I, you know, Wolfric already captured all of this place and stuff like that. So then I started the war with him, and yada yada yada. So, and that's actually one way you can go, and that's actually probably the easiest way to go, at least as far as I know. Another thing is, you can come down here and start a war with Kostalton. With you should be able to win quite easily if you know how to. Vladimir Pervek. Vladimir Perv. Good one, guys. But anyways, and this is a legendary Lord of Kislev, and you should be able to vassalize him quite easily and stuff like that, and it's very useful. The thing is, though, is that what I normally try to do when I did that is I would come up here and then finish the war up here, and usually I don't know, that would put me in depth a little bit and stuff like that, at least with the method that I've been doing it. So I think the ideal way, and I might try next time I play Azazel, is go here and then start expanding over here, because there are more Dark Fortresses over here, and that's mainly what you want to go for all the time. There's a Dark Fortress up here, getting helped by the dwarves, and then you have another Dark Fortress here, another Dark Fortress here, which looks like it's going to be held by Ratman, you know, stuff like that. So you can spend, you know, oh, fuck me, I can't even think of what direction that is, but you can spend that way, right? But I think for the easiest time and probably the best way is to actually go in the way the game kind of wants you to go. And go over here, capture this dark fortress, capture... I thought there was another dark fortress along the way. And then just go around and, you know, start capturing it from this side and all that stuff, and vassalizing everything. And again, you are a Slaaneshi unit, so you want to focus on vassalizing everyone instead of just outright killing them. I think Nakari actually gets a bonus and stuff like that. I can't remember. Can Azazel actually get benefits from
The exalted betrayer.
let's see, can you get benefits from vassals? Seduce units? No, he gets benefits from seducing units, but he doesn't get that much extra benefits from vassals. Okay. Oh, that's good to know. So yeah, so I guess with Nakari and stuff like that, that's, you know, obviously you'll always want to vassalize them. But since you have a choice and stuff like that, I say always go for the vassalization anyways, for, well, as much vassalization as you can for what's his fucking name? His freaking thing. For Azazel. By the way, I just realized I explained the technology tree wrong. So each technology tree is actually usually different, stuff like that. And I got that mixed up with the skill tree for Azazel, so my bad.
Darkling Prince.
Alright, so here's Azazel's line and stuff like that. Now, here's what I recommend. I personally would always recommend going for the blue skill tree first. Obviously, so you can get that casualty replenishment rate, and then you can get that recruitment minus cost as well. And stuff like that. Also, I would recommend for Azazel, I always want to call him Azazel, man. I got to get that out of my head. I always recommend for Azazel to then go for this skill tree here. Wait, so this one? Yeah, go for this skill tree next. Mainly because Azazel gets a lot of minus leadership bonus. Alright, number one, if you get what's it, Phantasmagoria, whatever like that, you can cost minus 16 from leadership, and they cannot move. Plus, if you keep your hero near you, then you can also get the Withering, which also decreases leadership, and they will stack. Then, eventually, Azazel will have a normal quest and stuff like that that you can use to get a sword, which I also believe knocks down leadership. And that's not all, folks. And he also have a passive ability where he causes leadership to fall. I actually gotta find which one that is. Hold up. Devastating Flanker. Entity with this attribute double their charge bonus when attacking from the rear. Okay, yeah, that's good. Causes terror. Making melee target for a short time. Units that cause terror or more immune to terror and fear themselves. Causes fear. Here we go. So this unit frightens all enemy units, reducing their leadership when nearby. So he reduces their leadership automatically when he's nearby. And then the intensity of increases by each enemy's units in range with leadership wavering or lower. That's when, you know, you can get their melee defense down to 0 and stuff like that. Like, holy shit, man. Like, basically, you can stack a bunch of, like, minus leadership points onto Azazel, and he's hella good. Also, another really good thing I recommend, too, is getting some speed, which I'm going to go ahead and get from now, and then give him some extra charge bonus, because, again, he has Devastating Flanker, which will increase the charge bonus that he gets by double if he gets it from behind or the rear or something like that. So I think getting those two first is pretty important, and then going for the blue tree, of course. Now with this dude, what I am going to do is just spam the shit out of specialist, because this is gonna reduce this is going to increase the success chance of his action, and plus hero cost. Now here's something that I didn't do that I just learned after practicing Azazel, is we're going to send him out here, and we're going to give each character a Marcus Slanes. That way we can start infecting this land with Slanesh corruption and stuff like that. So, but with that, see, we don't have any residents around. We do have gifted units, so we'll go ahead and so Warband. Obviously, we can recruit Marauders and Chaos and stuff like that, and other units and stuff like that. But I don't know about Chaos Undivided, but when you're playing as the Warriors of Chaos and you're playing as the champions of Chaos, Festus, champions of Nurgle, Valkia, champion of Khorne, Azazel, champion of Slanesh, you'll also get gifting units from granted by the Chaos Gods, and we will also have their demonettes as well. And I'm not quite sure if Slanesh is supposed to be male or female, by the way, because I think in 40k he's female, but in fantasy he's male. Like, I heard he's like the prince, and he's also the youngest of the Chaos Gods, but I've been heard he's also called a she too. But then again, you have Nakari, who has a boob and a man chest, so what do I know? Alright. I think that is going to be enough for the turn. And actually, now we're going to talk about the Gift of Chaos real quick. So, Gift of Chaos is basically your gift to the Chaos God, the sacrifice for the Chaos Gods. Now, what do you sacrifice? Well, the Gods of Chaos, what do you think they're going to want? Souls. They want souls. How do you get souls? Well, obviously, they're inside human bodies. You got to go get them. How do you get them? You fuck them up. That's how you get them. And then once you get a lot of souls and stuff like that, you can use the Gift of Chaos, which will grant you different rewards. Now, different rewards depends on which chaos you're worshiping and stuff like that. And so since we worship Slanesh, we will be getting some gifts from Slanesh. And here are different stuff. You usually start out with 3 of them, but the more souls you sacrifice and stuff like that, the more stuff you'll unlock and stuff. So, and you get some really good stuff like this one, Feast of Pain, and you unlock a freaking Keeper of Secrets, who I believe is the big giant Slaneshi monsters. So that's pretty good. But to start out with and all that stuff, you can get a chariot, you can get some more demonettes and Slanesh, or you can lose control in all province, but you get more money. I think the best thing to get right now is to get the chariots. Only because chariots. So the reason why I'm not a big fan of the chariots when you play with Nakari, because you're playing as elves, or playing against the high elves, and the high elves have good armor, good shields, and all that stuff. Usually stuff that can help block chariots. But since we're going against Norscan factions and stuff like that, definitely get the chariot. They are very, very good. And then also we have Undivided section 2. So we have on the outside, for the Chaos Gods, and then we have in the middle Undivided, stuff like that. And that'll just give you, basic buffs. So we can get Furies, which I never recommend the Furies. It's not worth it. I mean, if you get 2 or 3 of them and you make them go against the archers, then they're fine. But otherwise, I normally don't recommend them. Then you get defensive supplies, missile resistance, and ability Shadowstone during siege battle. This is pretty good if you're getting attacked or something like that. But other than that, I wouldn't really, worry too much about it. Obviously, the one you want to go for is casualty replenishment rate 10% for Chaos Marauder unit, and plus another melee attack and stuff like that for Marauder units. So up front, they cost 500 souls each, and then you have to pay an upkeep of 50. So if you're gonna keep these gifts, you need to go into battle and all this stuff. And with that, let's go ahead and go into diplomacy and check out who we got. So we already start out with the Vassal, which I believe most, if not all, Chaos unit starts. I don't play Festus or the Sazine, champion that much, but since I've started playing Azazel, Azazel, you start out with the Vassal, and I'm pretty sure Valkia, who is the second, who I played the most of the champion, also has a Vassal unit as well. Let's see, can we get anything? Okay, so we can't really get a trade agreement for free just yet, but we'll wait a little bit. Our relationship is growing up hella high with these guys. And then, honestly, I think the best ones to go for is the troll guy, because you kind of have to think about who you're gonna, go for. Now, when you seduce, units and stuff like that, what you're doing is that once you vassalize them, they keep their lands, but they're gonna give you money and fight for you and all that stuff. The thing is, though, is that if they have a dark fortress, then they're gonna be keeping that dark fortress, which is gonna suck because you need that dark fortress if you want to expand and get more settlements and all this stuff. So I wouldn't recommend even interacting with these guys yet, or most of these guys. I would probably go for Throg, of all people. Can we actually start a thing with him yet? No, we can't. Okay, so we'll probably have to wait until the next turn still. Oh, I can't believe we're on turn 1 and we're like 40 something minutes in the video. This is a lot more explaining than I thought it was going to be. But hey, this is the checking out. We're doing a different faction. So once we start doing the same faction and stuff like that, then it'll probably, get a lot faster for me to, explain stuff. Plus, again, the more I do these videos, the more I explain. But yeah, now that I started doing these YouTube videos and stuff like that on Warhammer, now I'm realizing how much there is to this game, and how much strategy, management, all that stuff. Because it's not all about the war. I mean, the wars are cool and all, and watching the battles and shit like that. Like, that's what I mainly play the game for. But there's settlement management. You got to go for control. And then each faction has their own different things and stuff like that. Like here, you got to go for the souls and stuff like that. Like, there's so many different stuff, man, to this game, and it's fucking awesome, dude. I love this game. It's really a shame the direction that Creative Assembly has gone in, and upping DLC price and stuff like that. But hey, guys. Fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre just revealed the DLC prices, right? So $16 for that Leatherface skin. Like, holy shit, what the hell are they thinking, man? And then $9.99, $10 for characters? What? $6.99 for executions? $5 for freaking cosmetic? Oh my god. That shit is just getting crazy, man. It's fucking bizarre. It's already hard enough, buying groceries and shit like that. But now, video games are just getting too expensive to buy nowadays. So, oh well. That's a conversation for another time. So, okay. So, Throg, or whatever the fuck that troll guy's name, just captured this place, stuff like that. Now we're gonna start our influence on him. Here he is. So what to do? How you doing?
Troll King doesn't share raiding grounds. Leave or die.
Alright, nice to meet you. So he is one of the legendary lords that we will play with, if we get Norska. But I don't really know how to play him all that much. So when we start Norska, I'm gonna... Ooh, that screen turn. When we start playing Norska, we're definitely going to be doing Wolfric the Wanderer, who is a very fun faction for me to play. I enjoy them. I really can't wait for them to actually, get their rework that they've been needing since the first game. But yeah, but Throg, I haven't played a lot of him, but we'll see how it goes. So anyways, we'll go ahead and offer him a gift. Because we want to be friends, that's what Slaanesh is all about, I want to appease you. I want you to feel good, and be my servant.
Excellent.
Good boy. Take that money and start my seduction fuel. Alright.
Northmen come.
So let's see. Can we get a trade deal with this guy? Yes, we can.
Are you
So,
after
boom.
a drink, a fist fight, or both?
I'm good.
Fine.
Alrighty. Yes, he responded. Fine. Bitch. Alright. So let's go ahead, and what I recommend is you go ahead and send your hero out and start infecting douchebag McGee here. See if it works. Oh god, please work. I had such a bad time earlier today when I was practicing. Fuck! Alright, so we had a 50% chance of it working. Oh, actually we had a 35% chance of it working. Fucking hell. Okay, that I didn't know. Wow. So I got very lucky the very first time. But basically, if your hero's activity, rocks, he did a good job and stuff like that, and it succeeds, that's when they'll get the Marcus Flores and start the corruption. But because he sucks, we didn't get it. Okay.
I will bathe in their soul juices.
You do that. Alright.
I must find the cursed city. We hunt.
Alright, so we're gonna go ahead
Your
and...
army suffers in the miserable conditions they find themselves, my lord. Move them on, or more warriors will fall to the elements.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know why there's attrition here, especially for the demon. Like, you think they'd be used to it and stuff, but whatever. But, it shouldn't be too bad. We should still be able to take on this settlement and get a free vassal out of it, too. Which, again, I don't really know if I want to keep them. I mean, I don't know. I'm so used to just going in there destroying shit, you know? Like with Corn or the Beastmen, but... I'll do what Slanesh wants. Slanesh doesn't want to destroy the world. He just wants the world to fall into more temptations and stuff like that. Which, obviously, leading yourself into temptation is one way to lead yourself into chaos. Life lesson, kids. Alright. So let's go ahead and seduce their unit. So we should be getting a 20% discount off these guys. Be mine. Alright. So now we got them. Let's go ahead, quick save it, and fight the battle. Alright. Holy shit, man. Like, honestly, when I played Azazel today and stuff like that, like, I felt like I was going through stuff much faster, but that's because I wasn't taking the time to explain a bunch of stuff. But I can't believe we're almost at the hour mark. So after this battle, I think I'm going to go ahead and end the video. But again, I really thought there was like a whole lot more time to go through stuff. But it is what it is, man. So, whew, and my voice is starting to hurt too. I think I've recorded like 5 or 6 videos today. So, hope you guys are enjoying them. At least, so. Alright. So, let's see. So, it's kind of weird. I don't understand why sometimes. Oh, because that's reinforcement. Oh, okay. I was trying to say, I wonder why sometimes you can't see it, but it's because they got reinforcements. That's the settlement garrison. Alright, where's our seduced units? Yes. Hello, Keithlev. You fight for Slanesh now. You love Slanesh. You love it. Alright. So, when you seduce units, you don't have to be careful with them. I mean, unless you're doing a big battle and you need to win it and stuff like that. But other than that, you don't really... If you lose your unit or your seduced units, you don't have to worry about it. Because right after the battle ends, they disappear anyways. So, you're actually pretty okay without them. Alright, so let's see what we're dealing with. So, we got a big-ass line... full of Corsair units and stuff like that. This is a bunch of Archer units. Oh, that's so weird. Oh, they're really gonna get fucked up. Alright, let's do this. Alright, so where is a weak point? Because I already know how I'm gonna tackle this. A very good strategy that is used. A real strategy that's been used in real life. Bow and axe infantry. Missiles and spears. I think we're gonna go with the missile and spear. No, because the spears are, they cost more and they got higher HP and stuff. So let's go with the axe and infantry. So, okay, so we're going to go down the middle, right in between the two. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. So, if you're in a battle and the enemy AI has the army spread out like a big giant wall, the best thing that I would do is... go ahead and put the, if you have enough, go ahead and put the most amount of units you can put out in a line, like same units, and then do this. Like that. Put another unit here. Put another unit here. So kind of go from like best to weakest. Then that means actually I put the chosen. I don't want to put them up there though, because I want them to stay alive the most. So not the best, the weakest, but alright, then we're gonna put this is all there. Cavalry units there. And then where's my Manticore? Okay, I thought I lost my Manticore. I was like, where the frick did they go? Alright, there you go. Alright, so what is the plan here? Why do I have all the units stacked up in one line here? This is the plan. So they got a big wall here. The idea is to find the weakest units on the wall. And right now, I know the weakest unit is the bow and axe infantry. So what we're going to do is that we have our front line here. And actually, we're going to go ahead and put these guys out here too. So we have more cover. So we have our line here. And we're going to basically put the front line to go and clash against their front lines here. But the idea is to get every unit that is in a line back here to go after one unit. So that means that this unit will have to fight maybe like 5 or 6 different units, which means that they're gonna definitely lose and break combat. So it's gonna, so once they, you know, lose and stuff like that, it's gonna break the wall, and we're gonna be able to flood in and stuff like that. It's basically like you see a wall, right? And you have to find the weak spot of the wall, and then you have to push through that weak spot in order to get through and get behind it. And that's exactly what we're doing here. So yeah, they're gonna come up to us, or they're gonna stick like around like bitches. This is why I like artillery. It's because you can convince the enemies to move their asses towards you, but it is what it is. Alright, so gonna move them there. Go ahead and just fast forward it, because it's going to take them a bit to actually get in position, but it's going to get us right outside their archery range, so we should be okay. Alright, if this was Nurgle, it would be taking probably double the time to get in position, because Nurgle is very, very tanky, but in return they are very slow. Here we go. Alright, so let's go ahead and send the first wave in. And this is actually like a real tactic that generals used to do like back in the day. Alright, give it a second. And we're just going to keep coming in waves. Alright, let's go now. Give it a second. Go now. Go now. Go now. We can go ahead and send Azazel behind the lines. I'm gonna go ahead and send the Manticore over there. Give it a second. Actually, we're going to send the cavalry unit around there so we can stop getting fired at. With the 2 of them, they might be able to bust through this. And you know what? We'll send the Chaos Warhounds there too. Alright, we got Azazel on the back line. Let's go ahead and flank them. And that should cost them for terror. And we're also going to add some more bad stuff to them. There they go. And now we're just going to try to break through this line here as hard as we can. There we go. More power. Alright.
I am Azazel. Warriors of Shemesh.
Gotta send these guys over there. And there we go, we broke through. And now their line is completely broken.
For destruction.
Azazel's taking care of the Lord. We get the demonette babes on the archers. I'm gonna put the cool camera on. Oh, these guys are trying to take care. Oh, the Marauders are going in too. Yeah. Look at my boy, he's going in. Aw, he lost it. Oh well. Hey, nice. Twin chop got an arm though. Alright. Is that guy broken? Yep, that guy's broken. And there we go. That's pretty much the battle right there. So we'll go ahead and watch Nakari fight some more. It shouldn't be too long though. What is going on here? What the hell is that? Azazel, you okay, my boy? There we go. Get some more kills in there. Why not? Now we actually got the Demoness going in for more extra kills here. Let's see if this guy can make it. Come on, run, guy. Run. Aww. Oh, well. Sucks for him. Nice. So yeah, that was kind of a cool battle. I mean, and there's kind of a strategy that, you know, I know that a lot of new players, that is something that you won't be taught, is like strategies and stuff like that. And I highly recommend, if you want some strategies, you know, on how to like play Warhammer, and that is to watch some freaking YouTube videos and stuff like that will show you, you know, some strategies that you can put in the game. Sorry, I'm trying to do two things because I'm trying to find the YouTube channel. Okay, here it is. Alright, so my highest recommended YouTube channel, if you want to look up strategies and stuff like that, like tactics and stuff, is named Zerkovich. Zerkovich, he's a pretty good YouTuber who does all types of content on Warhammer 3. But yeah, if you want to learn some tactics and stuff like that, some like real battle tactics and stuff like that, like the one I just did, then look up Zerkovich. He does some pretty good content and stuff like that. He doesn't just do strategies and stuff like that, but he also does like I'm gonna do this thing and see if I can do it. Like I believe he's the one that just recently put out a video of instead of just having units in your army, it's just heroes and stuff. But yeah, so very good YouTuber. There's a bunch of really good Warhammer